You wake up in the morning, and the weight of the day presses down upon you. The tasks ahead seem insurmountable, and the motivation to begin is nowhere to be found. You know what you ought to do, but the desire to do it is lacking. This is the reality many face daily. Consistency is not born from fleeting emotions or temporary bursts of energy. It is forged in the crucible of discipline, determination, and a deep, seated commitment to a purpose greater than oneself. It is the quiet resolve to continue when every part of you wants to quit. In a world that celebrates instant gratification and quick fixes, the value of consistency is often overlooked. Yet, it is the consistent person who achieves greatness. It is the one who shows up day after day, who does the work even when it's hard, who stays true to their path despite the distractions. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not celebrated with applause or recognition. It is the silent, steady force that drives progress. It is the small, seemingly insignificant actions repeated over time that lead to monumental results. But consistency requires more than just showing up. It demands focus, intentionality, and a refusal to be swayed by the whims of the moment. It requires a commitment to excellence even when no one is watching. There will be days when you don't feel like it. There will be days when the bed is warmer than the gym, when the couch is more inviting than the desk. But it is on those days that your commitment to consistency will be tested. Success is not the result of a single act of brilliance, but of countless acts of persistence. It is the culmination of consistent effort, unwavering focus, and a relentless pursuit of one's goals. So, force yourself to be consistent. Make it a non-negotiable part of your life. Understand that the path to success is not a sprint, but a marathon. It is the consistent steps taken each day that lead to the achievement of your dreams. Embrace the grind. Find joy in the process, not just the outcome. Understand that every small effort contributes to the larger picture. And know that the person who is consistent, who shows up day after day, will always outlast the one who relies on motivation alone. In the end, it is not talent or luck that determines success, but the ability to remain consistent in the face of challenges. It is the unwavering commitment to continue, to push forward, and to never give up. So, when the going gets tough, when the motivation wanes, remember that consistency is your greatest ally. It is the silent force that will carry you to your destination. Success doesn't come from fleeting moments of motivation, but from the daily, often unseen commitment to showing up and doing the work, especially when it's difficult or inconvenient. True growth and achievement come through repeated, intentional effort over time. It's not one big moment that defines a person, but the accumulation of small, faithful steps taken consistently. Consistency is not a mere byproduct of fleeting emotions or transient bursts of enthusiasm. It is a deliberate and intentional practice, a discipline that must be cultivated and maintained regardless of how one feels in the moment. In a world that often prioritizes instant gratification and emotional responses, the value of consistency as a discipline is frequently underestimated. To understand this concept fully, one must first recognize the nature of discipline. Discipline is the ability to control one's actions, emotions, and behaviors to achieve a greater goal. It is the strength to do what is necessary, even when it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. Discipline is not about relying on motivation or mood. It is about making a commitment and adhering to it, regardless of external circumstances. Consistency, as a discipline, requires the same level of commitment. It is the act of showing up day after day, performing the necessary tasks, and staying true to one's goals, even when the initial excitement has faded. It is the quiet determination to continue, to persevere, and to maintain focus, even when the path is challenging or the rewards are not immediately apparent. The challenge lies in the fact that feelings are unreliable. Emotions can be influenced by countless factors: fatigue, stress, external circumstances, and can fluctuate wildly from day to day. If one were to rely solely on feelings to determine their actions, they would find themselves inconsistent, unreliable, and unproductive. Feelings can inspire action in the short term, but they cannot sustain it over time. Discipline, on the other hand, is steadfast. It does not waver with the tides of emotion. It is rooted in a deeper understanding of purpose and commitment. When one chooses to be disciplined, they are choosing to act in alignment with their values and goals, regardless of how they feel in the moment. This is where consistency finds its foundation. Consistency is the outward manifestation of internal discipline. It is the repeated application of effort, the daily commitment to one's responsibilities, and the unwavering adherence to one's principles. Without discipline, consistency becomes erratic and unreliable. Without consistency, discipline lacks the opportunity to produce lasting results. Consider the example of an athlete training for a competition. There will be days when the athlete feels energized and motivated, eager to train. There will also be days when fatigue, doubt, or external pressures make training seem less appealing. If the athlete relies solely on feelings, they may train inconsistently, missing sessions and failing to progress. However, if the athlete is disciplined, they will train regardless of how they feel, understanding that consistency is key to improvement. This principle applies not only to athletes, but to anyone striving to achieve a goal. Whether one is pursuing academic success, building a business, or developing a personal skill, the same truth holds. Consistency is not a matter of feeling, it is a matter of discipline. The temptation to wait for motivation or the right mood is a common pitfall. Many believe that they must feel inspired to take action. This belief leads to procrastination and missed opportunities. The reality is that action breeds motivation. By taking consistent action, even in the absence of strong feelings, one can generate momentum and build the discipline necessary for continued progress. Moreover, consistency as a discipline fosters resilience. It builds the mental and emotional fortitude to face challenges and setbacks without being derailed. When one is disciplined, they do not allow obstacles to dictate their course. They remain focused on their goals, adjusting their approach as needed but never abandoning their commitment. In contrast, those who rely on feelings are more susceptible to discouragement and defeat. They may quit when faced with difficulties or when their emotions tell them to stop. Discipline, however, empowers individuals to push through adversity, to continue striving even when the path is difficult. Furthermore, consistency as a discipline cultivates trust. When others observe that one consistently follows through on their commitments, they develop confidence in that person's reliability and integrity. This trust is invaluable in both personal and professional relationships, as it establishes a foundation of dependability and accountability. In the absence of consistency, trust erodes. Inconsistent behavior breeds doubt and uncertainty, undermining relationships and opportunities. Discipline, expressed through consistent actions, builds a reputation of trustworthiness that opens doors and fosters collaboration. The journey to mastering consistency as a discipline is not easy. It requires self-awareness, self-control, and a willingness to confront discomfort. It demands the courage to act even when the path is unclear and the strength to persist when progress seems slow. But the rewards are profound. Discipline leads to mastery, and mastery leads to success. Ultimately, consistency as a discipline is a choice to prioritize long-term goals over short-term desires, to act in alignment with one's values regardless of emotional fluctuations, and to commit to the process even when the outcome is not immediately visible. It is the unwavering dedication to doing what must be done, day in and day out, that transforms aspirations into achievements. In embracing consistency as a discipline, one embraces the path of true growth and accomplishment. It is a path that requires no applause, no accolades, and no external validation. It is a path defined by quiet determination, steadfast commitment, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. So, let go of the notion that consistency is a matter of feeling. Recognize it for what it truly is, a discipline that must be cultivated, nurtured, and maintained. Understand that the power to be consistent lies within you, in your ability to choose discipline over distraction, commitment over convenience, and purpose in the pursuit of personal growth and achievement. It's easy to become enamored with grand gestures and monumental efforts. We often look for shortcuts, hacks, or quick fixes that promise rapid results. However, the truth is that lasting success is rarely the product of sudden bursts of effort. Instead, it is the cumulative effect of small, consistent actions performed daily that leads to profound, long-term impact. This principle is encapsulated in the concept of the compound effect, which illustrates how small choices and behaviors, when repeated consistently over time, can lead to significant outcomes. Just as a single drop of water doesn't seem to make a difference, countless drops over time can carve canyons and shape landscapes. Similarly, small daily actions, though seemingly insignificant in isolation, accumulate to produce remarkable results. Consider the example of reading. Reading just 10 pages of a book each day might not seem like much. However, over the course of a year, this habit results in the completion of approximately 650 pages, equating to 12 to 15 books. This consistent practice can vastly expand one's knowledge, improve cognitive function, and foster a habit of continuous learning. Similarly, small financial habits can lead to substantial wealth over time. Saving a modest amount of money daily or weekly might appear trivial, yet when combined with the power of compound interest, these small savings grow exponentially. For instance, setting aside $10 every week results in $520 over a year. With consistent contributions and interest accumulation, this amount can grow significantly over several years. In the realm of health and fitness, small daily actions can have profound effects. Engaging in just 10 minutes of physical activity each day can lead to improved cardiovascular health, increased energy levels, and enhanced mood. Over time, these brief sessions accumulate, leading to significant health benefits. Moreover, adopting small dietary changes, such as incorporating an additional serving of fruits or vegetables daily, can reduce the risk of chronic diseases and contribute to overall well-being. The impact of small daily actions extends beyond individual achievements. It also influences relationships and social connections. Regularly reaching out to friends and family, even with a simple message or gesture, strengthens bonds and fosters a sense of community. These consistent acts of kindness and communication build trust and deepen connections over time. Furthermore, small daily actions can lead to personal transformation. Practicing gratitude daily, for example, can shift one's mindset from scarcity to abundance, leading to increased happiness and life satisfaction. Similarly, dedicating time each day to self-reflection or mindfulness can enhance emotional intelligence and resilience. The key to harnessing the power of small daily actions lies in consistency. It's not about making drastic changes overnight, but about committing to incremental improvements that compound over time. This approach requires patience, discipline, and a long-term perspective. In a world that often emphasizes immediate results and instant gratification, the value of small daily actions may be overlooked. However, those who understand and embrace this principle recognize that true success is built on the foundation of consistent, purposeful actions taken day after day. Therefore, if you aspire to achieve meaningful goals and create lasting change in your life, focus on the small daily actions that align with your values and objectives. Trust in the process, remain steadfast in your commitment, and be patient as the compound effect works its transformative power. Over time, these small actions will lead to significant, lasting impact.